My name is Marguerite Maria Rivas, and I am a poet living on Staten Island. And I have written a long poem, a poem that is somewhat of an epic, I suppose, a modern epic. It's based really on history, ethnography, natural history of Staten Island. And the figure of the poem is an anthropomorphic figure, actually, a gynomorphic figure. It's a figure that's a place, that's a woman, that's a goddess, that contains all of the history and tradition of the island. It's sort of a postmodern long poem that relies heavily on juxtaposition and catalogs and paratactic structure and all that good post-Whitmanic stuff. Anyway, so the title of the poem is 40 Panel of Sufficient Fence. The title comes from the earliest recorded court case involving a woman on Staten Island from 1660, and her name was Sara Whitman. I thought, what better title than to have that. Part 1, Insula Viridis. I sing of an embryo, head bent toward the west, feet curled in sand, born of ocean's crust and tectonic plates, agitating absurd shelves of the earth, ridged spine, serpentine rock exposed to the deathless stars surrounding, misplaced fetus curling round the corners of herself, her life enclosed within unwieldy head, budding hands awash in roiling ocean, waiting, covered in stubborn glacier, waiting to be born, containing, yet not contained by the ocean, by the oyster beds. She waits to be born, and in her monstrous head they live, half-formed dreams of dark-skinned shell-seekers. They are matter of her brain, burdensome. Shell-seekers hushed, pad over gray matter, thread through the sweet gum of her brain as it bulges westward, not touching the mass to her left or the rocky needle that hangs over her head, waiting to enter. I sing of her and she sings to me, cradles my brain, my dreams. Her root stem thoughts are wax impressions of the shell seekers, of the men who come searching, those half-moon monsters who slip through the narrows behind her curved back, around and around, who come sweating and bleating of humanity. I sing of her, and she sings to me, of the blood-red coat of trampling feet, of the flesh that is grass and the blazing star, of the fevered vomiting pestilence in her cushioning waters, of the saint who picks strawberries and thinks she sees God, but who sees instead the holy embryonic heart and blood that drains through the clove of her breasts to the sea. Her brain is a cumbersome mass of unformed possibilities, of steel bridges, roaring harp strings, ferries, masses, prostitutes with crack-burned noses, drooling madmen, rock hunters, Wu-Tang boys with golden teeth, misplaced embryos, naturalists with straw hats, poorhouse photographers whose lovers live with ghosts, politicians whose hands are green with her defoliation. She wields them all furiously in her boggy brain, and she dreams. This is what she told me. She told this all to me as I am telling you now, that she dreams of the discarded, of those who would discard from her, of children lost in bad woods, of workhouse waifs exported on orphan trains, of those who would refuse. She dreams of the secret rooms, of the chambers of the Willow Brook, of the clay pit earth where bodies bloom within her, of the refuse, the refuse. These dreams are half-formed. They are pink and red ghosts. Enshrouded, she curls tighter round herself, and she heaves, she tosses, she heaves, she returns to the deathless stars, her slumber now disturbed, her thoughts a trigger, arrested, not to grow, stunted, her spinal cord bare, serpentine. Rock refuses to close, Spiked green backbone protrudes and crumbles and is her salvation. She dreams and waits to contain them all, to contain us all. Rudimentary brain marsh muck firing synapses heavy with humanity and iron ore. This is what she whispered to me as I stood transfixed by the spiked star of autumn, caressing her sandy shore with my big toe, my feet dug in for eternity, my feet dug in for life. O thou art my salvation and my life. She whispered this song to me long ago on sandy ground, her mind sludge of root cells. Root cells took root in the place of bad woods. Aquahunga menaknang, she hears the formed words from fulgent lips. She creates and is peopled, and we are born. That is the introduction to the epic. The prologue describes the birth of Staten Island.